mountain views, open space, walkable to hiking spots like the one that's right over my shoulder over here. Well, that is where we are, and we are smack in the middle of town. Conveniences, walkable, all of the things. Where are we? Lone Tree. Hey everybody, it's Alyson with Live South Denver, your real estate strategist and realtor for the South Denver area. All right, we are wrapping up our series on Lone Tree. We've been breaking it down by lifestyle. We have covered the golf courses, the gated communities, the ultra walkable, more urban feel, and now we're just a little bit outside that and we're focusing on what is on open space, what has access to the hiking areas, and we're going to cover the neighborhoods that are really maximizing that lifestyle today. So the neighborhood that we're starting in is Carriage Club Estates and Carriage Club. They have views, as you can see, of this gorgeous open space right here. They have the bluffs right behind them this direction if they're angled that way, and they have awesome mountain views this direction. All depends on which way the house is situated. However, all of these homes on open space are premium, and we talk about all the time how homes on open space are premium. They win hands down every time. But when the budget doesn't allow for it, at least the lifestyle here lets you get out in a hop, skip, and jump into these open space areas and enjoy all these views for yourself 30 seconds out your front door. So Carriage Club and Carriage Club Estates are really one neighborhood. The Estates section is more to the south end. Oh, we are doing sunglasses today, guys. The Estates section is more to the south end, closer to all the open space, closer to the Bluffs trailhead, and the homes are definitely a little bit larger. The homes in the Estates collection run 3,000 to 7,000 square feet. So they are going to be larger than what we're going to talk about when we get to the Carriage Club section. Median lot size running 0.23 acres. So definitely not bad, especially when you're close to views like these and this amazing open space. Nearly every home has a 3-car garage, a couple 4s, very few 2s. This past year, 4 homes sold in the Estates side. The average size for those 4 homes, 6,000 square feet. Average price on that, $1.1 million. Now the range, a little different. It's 975,000 to 1.2 million. Median days on market for those, 3 days. So definitely a popular community. Now, Carriage Club is up more on the north end, off of your entrance coming in off of Lincoln. They actually do have some golf course views up there, so I could have added them in, but it's not a lot of the homes. It is a segment. They are larger. They are more grand. The builder was not dumb. They gave some really beautiful homes those golf course views. Those homes might even fall into the few outliers up there, those 7,000 square foot homes up in Carriage Club, but most of the homes up there are going to run 2,000 to 5,500 square feet. So a little smaller than we're finding down here in the estate side. Many of the homes up in Carriage Club have 3 garage bays. There are definitely some that only have 2. Now, I had some clients who just listed and sold a home earlier this year. They had a 2-car garage bay. It was the one thing that kept their home from selling in just a few days. It was a spectacular home. They had done a lot of work in just the 2 years they had lived there, really improved it. The market was still strong at the time, but everybody wanted a 3-car garage, especially in this higher end neighborhood. And they did not choose or need a 3-car garage when they bought their house and the market was hot, hopping, jumping, high demand. They took what they could find. And when the market has now slowed down a little bit, it hurt them. So Carriage Club, not Carriage Club Estates, had more homes sell last year. They had 9 home sales. The average size on those was 4,200 square feet, and the average price was under $1 million, so it's definitely a little bit more palatable. That average price was $900,000 with a range from $750,000 to $1.1 million. Now, the Carriage Club homes are sometimes a little bit older than the Estates homes. They started construction in 1994 and finished up in the early 2000s. The Estates homes are more early 2000s. The lot sizes in Carriage Club a smidge tinier. Median size is 0.2 acres, where, as I mentioned, they're 0.23 here in the Estates collection. So very similar. Really, it's all about a larger home, smidge larger lot, being more on the south end with almost every home down in Estates, getting a little bit of open space, a little bit of views. Really lovely area. And next up, I'm going to take you through Centennial Ridge. This is a much more modest area. We've talked about how some of these homes back up to power lines, and actually there are some power lines right here that run through the open space, but the views outweigh it. And it's something that gets you a chance to see a house, get a house under $1 million in here. So we're going to check it out. As promised, we are in Centennial Ridge. We have much lower average prices over here. This area has beautiful, modest homes. We are really close to open space. I'm going to walk toward the open space, and from here, if you were going to go to the bluffs, you do have to take the long way around. You're going to head out and you're going to enter on the bluffs from the west side. So it's quite a good walk this way, and then you're going to enter, and take the loop up around that way. But you still can walk straight to them. You don't have to get in your car. You don't have to drive it. You're going to be a much more healthy person for taking the longer route. But this neighborhood gives you an opportunity to have that outdoor lifestyle, to have some mountain views, because this is right on some open space and views right here on this street. Now, you probably saw the power lines behind me. These are mid-size. These are not those, wooden pole power lines that some of us grew up with, but they're not the mega stand. So they do have a large pole that's metal back here, and you do see quite a few strands. So it is a deterrent for a lot of other buyers. So it can impact, who wants to purchase the home, but then you're offset by the views that are behind you. So it's kind of an interesting tit for tat with these lines here. These homes were built mid-80s to mid-90s. They're certainly older, and lot size 0.14 acres is the median. For size, they're running 2,600 to 3,600 square feet. And given that they were built in the 80s and early 90s, you will find some tri-level homes in here too. Sometimes not everyone's favorite, but I do see that some of those are making a comeback just for some differentiation in space, push back on those full great room, everything's open. And as I've had one client describe it, a big open room with a kitchen stuck on one end. So I do see a little bit of love for the tri-levels coming back on occasion. Now, I'm going to give you an average price for the last year, but only 2 homes sold in here. So we'll take it with a grain of salt. But the average price was $750,000. So really amazing price point to be in Lone Tree. It is such a desirable location with its convenience to I-25, 470, shopping, retail, outdoor golf, all of it. So if you're wanting something that gets you under 800, and I think for these 2 houses, it's one that really pulled it up. I think the other one was just under 700,000. So there are some opportunities to be in Lone Tree at a very modest price point, and this is one of a few neighborhoods that are going to give you that opportunity. While we're out here walking on this beautiful trail over here, I'm going to mention that Heritage Estates, that creme de la creme golf community, also gives you amazing access to the bluffs. They have 2 access points right out of the community to get up into the bluffs, and they are on the bluffs. You're not taking the long way around like you are over here, which you shouldn't have to if you're going to pay $2+ million to live over there, right? Next up, we're going to head over to the retreat at Ridgegate, Montecito, some areas that get closer to Sky Ridge. We'll get a look at the east-west trail that heads over to the bluffs. Then we're going to end up right over next to the bluffs in Bluffmont. This beautiful open space behind me is not part of the bluffs. Well, they are bluffs, but the east-west trail is up there along that ridge, and it leads over to the bluffs. This community is the retreat at Ridgegate. They get to look over all of this beautiful space. They do get to take a much longer walk over to the bluffs. We talk about the bluffs so much because if you haven't been here, haven't had a chance to hike it, you get up so high and you have sweeping views of the mountains. You have views of downtown, you have views of the tech center. So it's a great place to watch fireworks on the holidays. It's a great place to take a date and watch the sunset, watch the sky light up in the evening, take a morning walk, sunrises, all of it. So we really do treasure that spot around here. Plus it's a very good cardio workout. Now, the retreat at Ridgegate is all nearly new homes. They're very modern. The aesthetic is fresh and clean. These are 5,000 to 6,000 plus square foot homes built from 2018 to roughly 2022. So some of these people are still updating, finishing out. You'll see a lot of trucks in here as they add solar, finish backyards, all of that. Every home has a 3-car garage, and yes, some people have actually sold their homes because they bought them in 2018. 2 homes sold in here last year. Both homes sold just on either side of $2.3 million. Anything that's going to be this new, this modern looking, and have space like this all around it is certainly going to be on the $2 million price point. Now, right across the street from Retreat at Ridgegate is Montecito. I have some clients who live in here. They have a gorgeous house with pretty fantastic views. It is not of the bluffs, but it is over toward the tech center, a little bit of mountain view out their patio. They just wish it was all mountain view. They didn't see any retail, any city, but really lovely area. Of course, because this neighborhood is right across the street, they have great access to the East-West Trail. They have walkable access to Lone Tree Rec Center, straight access out their own community into the trail system too. So Montecito is a tick older than Retreat at Ridgegate. These houses are 2012 to 2017. These are 4,000 to 5,600 square feet. I'm going to turn the camera a little bit, let you see over my shoulder. They are smaller lot lines. These are more patio home style. I mean, they have some yards, but these are definitely not expansive. They are meant to be certainly much more low maintenance. Each of the houses comes with a 3-car garage unless you've got an outlier. The median lot size is 0.14 acres. So again, you can tell if you've got a large house on a lot that size, unless you're a corner lot, you do not have a lot of yard to deal with. Of the homes that sold in here last year, 5,000 square feet was the average size for an average sales price of $1.3 million. Our last stop is Bluffmont. Bluffmont is large. I'm not going to go into all the nuances and details. There are townhomes, there are single family homes. This gorgeous little green space behind me is right in the middle of some single family units, and I am walking straight toward the bluffs. That is why it is Bluffmont. There is direct access to the beautiful hiking space that everybody loves here. The median size of these homes ranges vastly because of the opportunity to have a townhome or a single family home in here. The sizes range from 1,500 to 7,000 square feet. Yes, you heard me right. So from the very modest to the very grand. And prices range from $600,000 to well over $1 million. There are brownstone styles, there are stucco styles, there are definitely mostly patio home style in terms of low lot size. Things aren't very spacious in terms of yards in here. They pack them in very tight. The lifestyle is meant to be walkable, much like the rest of this Ridgegate area. So it's the HOA that is taking care of all of the lovely open space, and it's meant for you to just have a little space to dump your doggy outside when the weather's bad, and otherwise you're out walking and enjoying all the communal area. I'm going to flip the camera around and continue walking toward the bluffs and let you see just how close we are. So I am still on Bluffmont property. Here are some of the homes. These gorgeous single family homes. These are probably running 48 to 5,200 square feet here. There's a little swing set. We've got some park space. We've got a few more of these homes. Notice the concrete tile roofs. Again, as I've talked about, that helps so much. This one on the corner here does not have it, but the others do. Helps so much with insurance cost. That up there is Heritage Estates. So you can tell those houses are right on the bluffs. And here we are at the parking lot for those who do not have the luxury of walking to the best hiking spot here in South Denver. And you start out, obviously, on the low ground, and that is some of the high ground, but it goes so much deeper than this. This is a 2.7 mile full loop, but there are short trails. You don't have to take the whole thing. You can obviously double back, but there is a full loop here. I'm not doing it with y'all today. Sorry, don't have my hiking clothes on. Maybe one morning I will, or one evening, but here we are. There's the road that takes you right out up to just Lone Tree Central. You dump out of the Target Shopping Center. It is literally just right in the middle of town. I so hope you all have enjoyed this Lone Tree deep dive. There is so much to appreciate about this little small town, and the fact that it's a town, right? It has its own trash service, recycling service, police force, and taxes, but it is so convenient to everything and has such a fantastic lifestyle. If you have questions about living in Lone Tree or any of the other awesome parts of South Denver that I love so much, and I know so many of you are growing to love as well, please reach out. I'd love to chat. See you next week.